Andy. Who are we going to speak to? Let's speak to Michael, who I think is on the line. Hi, Michael.
Yeah, hi there.
Michael.
I've called once before, but I really just want to put this to bed. I'm a Celtic fan. I was a season ticket holder for Celtic, until about 2 years ago. But I'm also a solicitor, and I can categorically tell you, Rangers maintain their history. It begrudges me to actually say it, but they do. And I think my fellow Celtic fans, jumping to the conclusions, they don't understand what's quite complex company law, really just to sort of fit their own agenda at the end of the day, because they want to see Rangers dead. That being said, I thought what Mr Green said last night was a little bit foolhardy about the big tax case. It's not been dealt with finally. I mean, as far as I understand, there's an appeal, and furthermore, the dissenting judgment, I think, is going to have a huge effect on what the investigation into dual contracts is going to have to say. So, there's two aspects to it. I'm putting one thing to bed and probably opening up a can of worms on the other hand. Just want to put it to bed, frankly.
You mentioned you're a solicitor, Michael.
Yeah.
Can you give us a quick synopsis that might put this to bed as to why you believe that Rangers are Rangers, if you know what I mean?
Okay. The point I would say is what the company Rangers and what the so-called new code do is they run a club. They are not the club. The club is, as far as I'm concerned, and I think UEFA and all that have done effectively the same thing. Have recognised that separate entity. The problem is that the club itself can be held to task by what the corporate identity does, which is obviously what's happened to Rangers here. But there is a different segregation. One runs the business that allows the club to go about its daily business. Another one is the club, which has supporters, has players that play for it, and the company administers all that. Now, certainly there might be other people with a different legal opinion, but my legal opinion on it is because there's just a little bit of a separation, it allows the company to be liquidated whilst the club and its history and so on and so forth, will be maintained.
I've got you. Clear, Gordon?
Sorry, Jim, I switched off there. Yeah, I totally agree with Michael. Sorry, Michael. I don't usually listen to solicitors. They're too clever for me. But no, actually, listen. I know exactly. But the fact is, listen, you can't go along to Ibrox. They had their 140-year celebration, Jim, against Stirling. On the 8th of December, I think it was 8th of December, and there were 40 ex-players there from all eras, all the way through, and great legends on the pitch at half-time. So you try and take the history away from these supporters, it's not going to happen. Michael?